We're going to be going back to the Mining Indaba, the Africa Mining Indaba in a short while, SK broadcasting from there. So do stay tuned. That's where we'll be heading off to in a short while. We did ask you a question of the day, and the question really relating to this, but also the inclusion of communities in all of this. So what do you think needs to be done to ensure that conferences like the Mining Indaba are inclusive of communities? Because, I mean, this is a big thing. And, you know, what part of it actually do we see reaching out to them? So here's one or two tweets before we go back to that Mining Indaba and seeing what you had to say. So Charmaine saying, we just need water, proper roads, eradication of pit toilets, jobs, land ownership, and to see the ANC out of power, then everything else shall follow. Also, removing the ANC doesn't mean we should vote for bank robbers and sushi kings who are busy spreading hate amongst Africans. Oh, all right, Charmaine, thank you for writing in. Nolali saying they must be held as host communities, not in some fancy venue in Cape Town. Chegofatso saying, realistically, it must be held in places where it's accessible to everyone, not only affluent people. They must consider community halls, mobile conferences or seminars, or even perhaps looking at going to workplaces annually to convey their information. Boyson Hopolang saying the mining host communities should be part of the conference. The Mining Charter doesn't give the host communities an outright right, but protects the holders of mining rights. I speak for the impoverished mining community of Tabazimbi, whilst there are 12 there. Munisani saying, good morning, ladies. As for me, I think the people staying at the communities where mines are situated must be prioritized in a case of jobs where it doesn't need certain skills which need to be outsourced. Shorty, good morning, Leanne and the team. I think government must ensure that communities are part and parcel of the Mining Indaba by hosting such conferences in communities that are surrounded by mines. Yeah, also reading another one here saying, this is from Demon Squad, saying such things are an absolute waste of time. Why do we still even pretend they mean anything? It's ridiculous. I wonder if they are. I mean, and these are real comments coming through from viewers, and certainly the suggestion of hosting them in a mining community and taking people there to actually see the circumstances and making sure that tangible benefits are felt in these communities from all of this investment, and many of the times a lot of international investment into the land, and you know, one wonders about the community. Well, let's throw this now to Sakina, who is at the Indaba, and who knows, perhaps maybe there are a lot of communities there. Sakina, just a couple of comments coming from viewers just wondering where the communities are involved in all of this. Do they have a presence? Do they benefit from this at all? We see all of these amazing companies there, but in terms of the communities and the benefit for them?
Well, Leanne, to that point, not at the Indaba, at least not in this precinct. I have not encountered any. But of course, you would imagine that speaking through their policy positions, perhaps companies are trying to address those needs. But you would have heard in the previous interview where I did ask the question in terms of exploration, and an explanation was given by Dr. Masangane about how communities are involved when it comes to the actual decision making, taking them on board with regard to the knowledge component when it comes to exploration and the like. But to respond to your question directly, in terms of any civil society groupings, I haven't encountered any, I haven't seen any, and this is essentially for the mining companies, of course, showing off what they have, but also an opportunity for networking and looking at investment at this particular place. But it's certainly something that we'll look into, Leanne, because as I say, it won't end here. We will obviously also endeavour as SABC to go out into these communities just to see how the communities actually do benefit, if they do, from what these companies are doing. But I did promise that we'd do a bit of a walkabout when we come back, and we're doing exactly that now. And I must tell you, it's really been quite exciting just taking a look around at all the exhibitors here. I mean, right to my far left, the Democratic Republic of Congo there at the back, and wondering what they have. I see Canada and a company like Lydia Mining here behind us. But right now, we're at the German stand, and one that has attracted quite a bit of interest, not least, of course, because of the reason of this car that is parked here. And just to give you a sense of what we are talking about, and many people stopping here, trying to find out exactly what this vehicle is about. And if we can just come closer, I'll show you one of the other things, because obviously when you open your bonnet, you want to see an engine of sorts, and then you come closer and you're met by this orange box here, and everybody wants to know more about what exactly is going on here. If we look at the bottom here, you will see there, of course, is a connection to an energy source. And we'll tell you a little bit more about that now, but just showing you some of the components with regard to this vehicle. And as you would see on the window, designed and manufactured in South Africa, in Johannesburg, to be exact. So let's talk more about this. And I'm joined now by Avi Butt, who is, of course, the Managing Director of SMT Shaft Africa, to tell us more about this baby here. Avi, good to speak to you, and thanks for giving us your time. So let's first talk about Shaft and what it exactly is that they do, and then we can come to the car.
Good morning, Sakina. Good morning to your viewers. Thank you for joining us here this morning. So let's talk about SMT Shaft quickly. So SMT Shaft is a German entity. It's listed on the German Stock Exchange. And about 4 years ago, we consciously made a decision, or Germany made a decision, to move the entire manufacturing process for mining vehicles to South Africa. That has resulted in us increasing our job employment, and the value chain also, where you see our suppliers have increased their employment. So job creation has increased dramatically. So what do? In SMT Shaft Africa, we manufacture the rubber tire vehicles or the mining vehicles or heavy-duty vehicles for the group, and then it's exported worldwide. But this baby over here is a Toyota Land Cruiser, standard Land Cruiser, and what we've done is we've taken out the engine, we've taken out the gearbox, and we've now put in a full-on battery, a 40-kilowatt battery, designed, manufactured, assembled in South Africa. This has got a electric motor that is connected to the battery, and this entire vehicle is then, can we walk around?
Yes, as we make our way around.
Yeah. This vehicle is fully electric. It is powered by a single-phase, three-phase, or a special charger. This will do 180 kilometers non-stop on a single charge, or for a mining operation will work for 8 hours before it requires a full charge.
So how long does it take
to charge?
For a full charge?
So on a fast charger, it'll take us 45 minutes. On a three-phase charger, it'll take us 2 hours. And on the single phase, as you see it here, will take us 6 hours to fully charge.
And that will take us
180 kilometers minimum. Yes, ma'am.
So just in terms of the uptake of this vehicle, because everybody at the moment is concerned about, cleaner mining and emissions, making sure that we actually meet some of the Millennium Development targets with regard to emissions. So how does this baby contribute to that?
So firstly, we've designed, manufactured and assembled 10 of these units. 8 of these units have already been distributed worldwide, North America, South America, Europe. 2 of these vehicles will enter the South African market within the next 60 days, all for mining, as we earlier alluded to. This is zero. It contributes, well, there's 2 issues. In one of your interviews, you had one of the doctors talk about carbon neutral. This is carbon neutral. This reduces the energy the carbon footprint of mining houses globally, but more so in Africa. And it means that there's less carbon emissions as deeper you go into the mines. The benefit of this is that already you have electricity in the mines. Putting a vehicle like this on a mine allows you to charge it wherever you need to charge it. Yes, you've got to invest in certain infrastructure, but generally you have most of it in place for you to charge this vehicle.
What does it cost?
So a vehicle that is full, that has all of the mining gear on it, as you see it here, this would set a mine company back between 2.5 and 3 million rands. But the payback is 4 years. Savings on this is you'll save on your maintenance cost, you'll save on your fuel cost or your diesel cost. There's no real maintenance on this. Once it's powered up, you don't need any real maintenance on this. You'll have to replace the tires and some of the other stuff, but generally zero maintenance on all the moving parts.
So I'm curious, if it is designed and manufactured in South Africa, you spoke about sales to South America, to Europe. So what's the holdup? What are the snags with regard to uptake in South Africa?
So I think the mining houses in South Africa are reluctant to move to battery technology. Various reasons. One of them is they want to see who does it first and does it work. So this unit now goes in, the first 2 units will go into South Africa within the next 60 days, will prove that it does work in Africa. I believe as a result of that, you'll see a bigger uptake. One. Secondly, the Mining Indaba has been great for us. We've had a lot of mining houses come through and have seen the vehicle standing here. And I'm hoping that will result in other future talks with those mining houses.
Well, Avi, thanks so much for speaking to us about how big is that battery again?
Oh, it's a 40 kilowatt battery.
40 kilowatt battery.
So what does that mean in terms of 40 kilowatt? This thing will give you 1,000 Newton meters torque. So it's got stamina, it's got load. It'll take a full load down the mine and a full load up the mine, no problems.
Well, there you have it. And as I said, this has caused quite a bit of, heads turning here at the Mining Indaba, one of the vehicles. In fact, it's the only vehicle I've seen, a full-sized electric vehicle that I've seen here on the floor. Hence, our attention was also drawn to it. But as you can see, a Land Cruiser is standard, as Avi said, apart from, of course, all of the modifications that they have done to it. But much interest here at the Mining Indaba, and the power source, as you can see there, 45 minutes is how long it takes.
On that one, 6 hours.
6 hours on the big one.
45
45 minutes on the big one, 6 hours on that one. And that will take you around 180 kilometers. So we'll leave it there. And Avi Bhatt is, of course, with SMT Shaft Africa. And this is the vehicle that they've brought here to the Mining Indaba.